George Washington University has a new coach at the helm of its men's basketball program, but Chris Caputo is no stranger to the D.C. area. He was an assistant coach at George Mason in Fairfax, Virginia for 9 seasons before spending the past 11 as an assistant at the University of Miami. We wanted to get to know Coach Caputo, and what better way to do that than to talk with his wife, Julie, too.
You know, getting off the plane and taking, 395 into town, and you sort of think about, wow, this is real, and obviously it was exciting to be back.
And I think as a coach's spouse, to not feel like you're starting over and to know the area and to know the people, it's really an incredible feeling to be coming back.
Chris Caputo has spent 20 seasons as an assistant men's college basketball coach. This will be his first as a head coach.
Yeah, well, you go from being a suggester, a 20-year suggester of things, to then becoming the actual decision maker, where ultimately everything falls on you. And I've got to be thoughtful as I go through my decision making.
You're mentioning it all falls on you. You're the one in charge. Sometimes I think it's easier to be in charge than to be in Julie's position, where now you're going to be sitting watching from afar. Are you a nervous wife?
I wish I could say I was not, but I don't really think that there's a coach's wife out there that does not get nervous.
But Julie is used to seeing her husband win. In his time with George Mason and Miami, he's been to the NCAA tournament 7 times, famously taking George Mason to the Final Four in 2006, and most recently Miami to the Elite Eight last month.
Look, I think everybody gets into college basketball to participate in the NCAA tournament. It's such a special event. I think GW's done it here. They've gone to Sweet 16. It's a place that has had some success and been in the NCAA tournament, so we're going to work to get us back.
Off the court, Chris and Julie are parents to 2 little girls, Lily and Charlotte.
I think the thing I'm most excited about is raising our kids there. My daughter, the other day, we took her to the White House just to see it, and she goes, "I don't want to be a princess. I want to be president." And I was like, well, you can do that.
Chris and Julie's daughters will finish their school year in Florida and plan to make D.C. their new home this summer.
Happening right now at 6. Police detain a Maryland woman inside her own home. Turns out they had the wrong person.
It was traumatizing and violating.
How did this happen? Hear from the woman and police about this case of mistaken identity.
We'll let you know when the showers and storms are through the metro area this evening, and we'll talk about the weekend. Some showers on Saturday. We'll let you know if that means a wet Easter.
Then, a family's legacy built atop a landmark in the D.C. region. We sit down with the grandson of the man behind one of the Mormon temple's famous features. It's a story you're seeing first on WUSA 9. Live from the district, this is WUSA 9 News at 6.
Well, let's get right to that yellow weather alert. The storm threat is... and it is headed toward the shore. Our team of meteorologists are watching this radar quite closely. Good evening. I'm Leslie Foster.
And I'm Lorenzo Hall. Let's get right to the chief. Topper Shut with DC's most accurate forecast. What do you have to worry about tonight, Top?
You know what? We can almost sound the all clear, except for southern Maryland. And then we're going to be in pretty good shape the next hour or so. So we've had some gusty winds with the front, no doubt. And here's the line of showers and storms that went through. They were pretty hefty back toward, 3, 4 o'clock. But nothing popped severe as it went through the metro area. Down to the south, though, we do have some heavy activity. See the lightning? That's a little heavier storm. Not severe yet, but certainly heavy downpours over toward Chappaquiddick and over toward Mechanicsville and Milestown. It's going to push off to the north and east. The plate of right now, just some light rain, nothing crazy heavy. So Futurecast has everything gone by 8 o'clock. Now, there could still be some residual light showers down into southern Maryland and maybe some clouds back to I-95 corridor, but still, we're in pretty good shape. The temps, however, are falling like a stone. In the 80s today, a third consecutive day, 80 or higher. That hasn't happened since 2013, so early in the month. 61 right now, D.C., 53 by 8 o'clock in Hagerstown. And by 10 o'clock, Hagerstown is going to be in the 40s. We're going to still be in the 50s. So that little walk after dinner, well, might require a jacket this time. And then by midnight, look at this, temps in the 40s pretty much across the board and almost clearing down into southern Maryland. We will come back. We'll talk about how cool it's going to be tomorrow behind the front, and we're tracking another front over the weekend.
Okay, thank you, Top. In the meantime, open your phone and scan that QR code right there when severe weather comes your way. Make sure you have the WUSA 9 app. You can get forecast updates and see Doppler radar right on your phone.
In all honesty, what was really running through my mind was, I hope they don't kill me. I hope that this doesn't go so far that I end up in the back of the car and in somebody's station.
Wrongfully detained and handcuffed. That's what one Silver Spring woman is claiming happened to her Tuesday afternoon at her apartment complex. And tonight, she's speaking only with WUSA 9. She tells our Megan Rivers that quick trip downstairs turned into one of the most traumatic experiences of her life.
I feel violated.
It was supposed to be a quick trip downstairs to grab some food, but this Silver Spring woman found herself handcuffed in her apartment lobby after 3 Montgomery County police officers approached her.
As 3 strange people approached me, naturally I just state that's not my name and continue to keep walking.
She didn't want to show her face or share her name. Still humiliated, she says, by what happened Tuesday when she says she was cornered by 3 plainclothes officers and not understanding what was happening in the moment.
I kind of realized something was off, but still no one had addressed themselves as officers or explained what exactly was happening. So when I'm cornered at this point, I'm like, oh, well, let me give them something to prove that I'm not this name that they keep referring to me as.
Montgomery County Police would not do an interview, but in a statement to WUSA 9, they say their detectives were involved in a human trafficking investigation, and this woman was detained by police and placed in handcuffs based on information that she was a wanted suspect. This statement also says after a few moments, detectives determined she was not the wanted person they were looking for, and she was eventually let go. Meanwhile, the woman says she is scarred mentally from the fear of what ifs.
You can't do anything. All your power is stripped from you. I can't do anything. My words are not enough. I'm telling you something, it's not enough. I have evidence and it's not enough. So none of that is enough. What is?
She's since filed a complaint with the Montgomery County Police Department and is hoping someone is held accountable so it doesn't happen to anyone else.
The apologies from all the officers that I saw were disgustingly nonchalant. It was referred to as an inconvenience. That's a traumatic event. That's a ridiculous and horrible proof of sheer negligence and officers not doing their due diligence. And to me, I think that's completely inappropriate to be diminished as an inconvenience to my afternoon.
Reporting in Silver Spring, Megan Rivers, WUSA 9.
Montgomery County Police also told us because this is still an active human trafficking investigation, they cannot provide much else about the intended suspect or the case. So,
well, now to Charles County, Les, where an 8-month-old boy is recovering tonight after he was shot in the hand. This happened shortly after midnight in an apartment on Gallery Place in Waldorf. And neighbors tell us this kind of violence is all too familiar. Some are so intimidated by crime and the criminals, they refuse to be seen talking to our reporter, Scott Broom.
This is the Huntington apartment complex here in Waldorf, where Charles County investigators say a baby was shot in the arms of his mother last night, and where reluctant residents I talked to said they live in fear. The shooting happened in this building just after midnight. The sheriff's department reports 2 men forced their way into an apartment and confronted a woman holding her 8-month-old son. One suspect fired a gun, badly wounding the baby in the hand. Investigators say they're looking into the possibility the suspects were looking for someone else. Huntington appears to have video security systems with a gate and a security booth out front, but residents like Imoni Hawking says it protects no one.
It's crazy. Like, we're not safe. We don't want to go outside.
There's a lot of security cameras. There's a gate. There's a security booth.
Cameras don't work and we don't have security.
The cameras don't work and you don't have security?
No, sir.
How do you know that?
Because it's no Wi-Fi. And we know our cameras don't work because anytime something goes on, they can't do nothing about it.
Here's another example of some of the security complaints I'm hearing about. This is an entrance to one of the buildings, but the latch and the lock are completely missing. Somebody's using a piece of a plastic bag as a doorknob. At least a half dozen other residents told me they feel so intimidated by crime they didn't even want to be seen, speaking to a reporter. The sheriff's department installed its own surveillance technology trailer here in the wake of a shooting in late March. According to state property records, the complex is owned by a company based in Torrance, California called Preservation Partners. I tried by phone, email, and in person at a local management office to ask about resident complaints. The company did not immediately respond. Its LinkedIn page says Preservation Partners utilizes low-income housing tax credits and tax-exempt bond financing to acquire and rehabilitate properties in at least 6 states. But instead of rehabilitation, here at this apartment complex where a baby was shot last night, residents complain The place has been in decline since Preservation Partners took control of the buildings back in 2018. In Waldorf, Scott Broom, WUSA 9.
Okay, here's a heads up. If you plan to drive on I-95 tonight or overnight in the Fredericksburg area, you might want to find another way. Otherwise, it's going to be a long minute, because VDOT is doing some heavy road work. And you know what that means? Delays, delays, delays. These will affect the northbound lanes in some stretches. One lane will be closed starting at 9 tonight, 2 lanes starting at 10, and then at midnight till 3 a.m., all the northbound traffic will be stopped from time to time in that area. Right, just don't go that way. Right? Yes.
Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin has vetoed a lot of bills in his first year, and some say he's vetoed more than his predecessors. But is it true? We're going to verify coming up after the break.
Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin has been trending on Twitter this week for vetoing 26 bills in just the last couple days. And that includes many that had wide-scale bipartisan support. And on social media, some claim he's vetoing a lot more than past governors. So let's verify. Has Governor Youngkin vetoed more bills in his first year than recent administrations have? Here are sources: the Virginia Legislative Information System, the Virginia Constitution, and a duo of political experts from Virginia universities. We started by looking through data, which is listed on the Commonwealth's bill tracking website. It shows that Youngkin does have more first-year vetoes than the past 5 governors did in that time frame.
Governor Northam